I said I didn't want any sponsor from anybody. It's not rich or rich. But let me tell you something. People mouth worse than Obia. And I would not have it for anybody come sit down and talk about, oh, the Bob couldn't even bury himself. What are family for?
Blessed people, welcome back. So peeps, today we're gonna talk about some of the reasons why Gully Bop's funeral did not get a bigger attendance. Regardless of the fact that Gully Bop is a part of the entertainment industry, Gully Bop has a lot of fans and a lot of other artists that he associates with. You know what I mean? His friends. His funeral was still not well attended. Many artists did not attend Gully Bop's funeral physically. A lot of persons are making negative comments on the media, saying this and saying that, you know. But people, what you have to understand, you know, it is obvious the reason why a lot of persons, especially some artists, did not attend Gully Bop's funeral. You get me? I say, people, remember, you know, ever since Gully Bop died, there has been a lot of controversy, and most of the people were Gully Bop used to deal with, like for example, Gully Bop used to deal with Shana Chin. You know what I mean? Shana Chin and Amari no good. You know, Gully Bop have him wife. Gully Bop have other females who him used to deal with. They know say L.A. Lewis did debut when Gully Bop drop out same way and a jump round. You get to me? I say, people, you know, Gully Bop's son come out and a lick out against L.A. Lewis, and then, you know what I mean, him and L.A. Lewis good again and so on and so forth. So people, there was a lot of mix up going on leading up to the funeral. A lot of persons came out saying things. A lot of people started arguing a lot of other people. You know, people are planning to go to the funeral and create excitement. There was a lot of mix up going on leading up to the funeral. You get me? I say, people, every day somebody else in an argument with another person about this or that. So most artists and even some fans of Gully Bop who would want to attend refuse to attend simply because they do not want to go to the funeral and end up getting caught in a crossfire. I don't believe that the fact that thousands of people did not attend Gully Bop's funeral made it any less. You understand? Gully Bop was well sent off by his family. Gully Bop was sent off in style. You get me? As a people, Gully Bop are one of the first dancehall artists who get sent off in a them style. You see me? As a people, and there's no going around that. So regardless of the fact that people did say Gully Bop this and oh, no money, no did if he bury him and them have to go beg this and beg that, his family gave him a good send off. And there were persons there at the funeral who truly loved and supported Gully Bop and support his family. So people, the fact that the crowd never did big like what some people think does not reflect on the support that Gully Bop really get from people, because a lot of persons watch it online. A lot of persons just never go because they never want to go at the funeral and then no mix up and excitement go on. Imagine Shana Chin and Amari buck up and you know L.A. Lewis and all of them something. So all of them little mix up there, and then Gully Bop's son get involved and so on. So all of them little thing that we are going and lead up towards the funeral. People want to go and people love Gully Bop, but at the end of the day, some people prefer to stay back and watch what go on because COVID has changed a lot of things. So you have some people, them not going to leave them yard on a Sunday to go on a funeral. What them are going to do, I watch it on the internet, because there were a few YouTube channels that were carrying the funeral live, and because of that, a lot of persons watch the funeral procession online. And that's one of the reasons why from Gully Bop drop out, we say, yo, the people them need to leg off of this whole heap of argument every day. This a person I cuss at the person, you know what I mean? This a person I said that the person that they do this and who never they do that and ask it and call fat. That scare a lot of people from God the funeral, and that just facts. You get me? And if I check it, people, Amari no reach at the funeral, Shana Chin no reach at the funeral, L.A. Lewis no reach at the funeral. You get me? I say none of those persons were actually in physical attendance at the funeral. Maybe them watch the funeral online still. You know what I mean, people? But me I say the build up to the funeral is what caused the funeral not to get the type of support that persons were anticipating. People, when you have your loved one and your loved one pass away, people, do not encourage the whole heap cas, and the whole heap of argument. If you really check for somebody and that person they pass off, in my opinion, you're supposed to give that person the level of respect, because at them last send off at the see. So the fact say you know say the person they do something bad, you know say the person never did do what them supposed to do, and so on and so forth. I don't think so when the person just drop out even and the funeral even comment, you have to go out and expose it, you know what I mean? Or if you know something about somebody else who never did genuine, I don't think that is after the person drop out. If you bring up the argument there, you better you bring it up whilst the person still alive, film can defend it and say, no man, this man a good man, he never do that, and rare. It don't make no sense after the person drop out. That is when ones and ones I go and say, oh, them and him did good per certain level, and them and him did this, and them and him did that. You see what I say, people? Yeah, because at them thing, because the whole heap of strive run Gully Bop funeral. But as I said before, I salute Gully Bop family members who take care of him funeral. You get to me, I say, people, yeah man, him funeral did well organized and it deal with properly. Can't go around them, and I can't go around that. Anyway, people, thanks for watching. You can like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
There was a lot of things saying that I bury him already, and the date is, I kept the date because I am the only one who could have set that date. So I said, alright, if they are burying the Bop, let them tell the world when is the date. And I kept that as a military secret. I was a kind of elusive at times, but I kept that until I was landed back in Jamaica on the 13th of December. I came back and I had to wait until Christmas pass off. I didn't want to impede on anybody's dinner, New Year's, whatever plans. So I think I chose a day that was okay with everyone who even could see live stream, you know, from overseas. My time is God's time, and everything transpired, even though there were like glitches. The devil threw hurdles and I stood my ground, thanks to Big Stone and Juby. They said, Anne-Marie, it came down, and it came down to wire. I was doing this, collect the clothes from online, collect the shoes, getting t-shirt ready, making sure the buttons are ready, putting the package together, saying what I want in it, doing this and doing that, and also planning for what to go in the because it all boiled down to Anne-Marie. Bop has 7 sisters. Remember, you know, I live all the way in St. Thomas, and I have to journey back and forth to make sure things were in place by coordinating with Jackie's manager, who was overseas, who is still overseas, who is living in the UK, and coordinating with Juby, meeting him at different points just to make this a success. So it came down to the final night. All things were in place, and I'm gonna be a bit mischievous here. It was so the 9-9 was advertised for King Western, but really the 9-9 ended up at Grand Spend because I go by the little voice. So Mr. Lewis went to King Western, and there wasn't any 9-9 there, so he came and showed his face there as a vlogger. You know, he was one of them that was in the life of Bop. I'm not getting into that politics because I know politics run. He came and he did this little thing with the guys, you know. You know, when you go in an area and you have your little fans them and them respect you. They go gather around for you to, you know, buy them a juice or two, you know. But because it's Jamaican people, you can't give them enough. It's never enough. You always have to give a thing. I'm from the gully, same way, not inside of the gully, but the ghetto. It's a terminology, it's just a word. There was an issue with the pastor. I couldn't get a church. I wanted him to church in the area there. But I guess the universe chose otherwise. I was told that it can't be held there for whatever reason. I didn't want to go there, so I asked other churches in the area that he was living, and they said I had was to ask them prior, 3 weeks prior. I wasn't here. I was overseas, so I couldn't have asked them to do that. Anyway, I still tried. Wayne Juby, he was on the ground on the phone, busy looking for a church. Now, what is the role of the church? I'm kind of lost, but I'm not gonna knock them this time. I have to save that for next time because I have to speak on the matter. Well, we are human beings first before we can address any profession of ours. I asked the pastor, unfortunately his wife got sick right at the day before the funeral, and I said, my God, what am I going to do? And I said, I jump on the phone and I called Juby. I said, Juby, the pastor wife gets sick and him can't be able to make it, and him asked him acting pastor if he could do it. He said yes, but when he checked his schedule, he had prior arrangement to do something else, so he had to change the schedule. And I could hear it in his voice how disappointed he was that he couldn't do it for me. Set up. Juby said, so Marie, you there dance, you get pastor yet? I said, no, God will work it out. If not, the back must bury. And Big Stone overheard the conversation. And we said, Big Stone, come here. And tomorrow a funeral, and we don't have no pastor. Big Stone said, what? Don't worry yourself, man. I have a lot of pastors, and he gave me few, but it never worked out. You know, I chose not to say why. But there was this lady, I'm gonna say her name. That lady, God sent her, Dr. Witter, Apostle Witter. She didn't hesitate. She knew nothing about what was happening, and she didn't hesitate to take on the challenge. That is what I look for in Christianity.
We honor your name, we bless you and we glorify you for what you have been doing for us. Cover us under your blood, Jesus, as we tell you thanks for your mercies. Rest, remain, and abide with us all, now and forevermore. And let the people of God say, Amen. Put your hands together and give him a praise. Come on, shout the praise in the place. Hallelujah!
That is what draw people to want to be a part of the body of Christ. I didn't want any sponsor from anybody. It's not rich or rich. But let me tell you something. People mouth worse than obia. And I would not have it for anybody come sit down and talk about, oh, the Bob couldn't even bury himself. What are family for? Family is here and friends is here. You don't necessarily have to be biological family, but God put people together. You have family and I have to be blood. We never did want no negative energy around me. You understand? So I know that the faith that I have, and I'm a good organizer. I can do things. I have solutions. I find them. I don't deal with problems. So God, I want to thank you for being there for me when I most needed a friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I have to thank me. Controversial me, I did a good job. I have to pat myself on the shoulder. Yes, I did it. I said I was gonna do it and I did. Yeah man, do it. I'm proud of myself. You know when I'm proud of myself, when I look and I see the convoy and I see the box of the music them set up, and I see the procession like a royal king, like what he deserved. A lot of you out there was looking that he was gonna get a pauper's funeral, and if I had was to sell the last clothes on my back to make that come true, which I didn't have to do, I would have. Yes, he never did have no money to give another way, and he never give away nothing but that. I say blood not thicker than water. Whatever the story was, he may not give biological family, but in Guno out there, a lot of you were out there bash him. In Guno in money, you hold more money from him than me, his sister, were always dead for him. I want to turn around, but this is the old people stay. You always do these things. You understand? When you go to the, when you up with the chips, when the chip is up, when you up with it, and when you down with this, that, and it's just a bag of wagonness. What we need still, we need to be better versions of ourselves. You understand? I'm not gonna knock on you, because God himself said, I make the good and the bad for my glory.